Gentlemen,
Mm-hmm.
question is very simple. You taking South Carolina or you taking the field?
Mm.
South Carolina. I'm sorry, I am not taking the field. Uh, how Don Staley's having them young ladies playing. Um, I mean, you got to have Angel Reese play beyond her mind if you're LSU. You got to have Caitlin Clark boogie for 50. You got to have a spectacular game from your number one player to actually have a chance to beat South Carolina. Otherwise, you're getting buried in the dirt with this team. I just don't have faith in the other 67 or 63 squads that have a chance to knock them off.
Dre, South Carolina or the field?
I'm going with South Carolina. Now, do I believe it'll be a perfect season? Not
No.
sure. But I will say this, though. How they lost last year in the Final Four,
Go there.
And Clayton
Go
and
there.
Clark, anybody?
that
Go there.
that motivated them. Trust and believe that motive. Now, I heard an interview where Dawn Staley said that when she lost all her starters, she thought about retiring. Now, I think she was being sarcastic. I don't think she meant that
Yeah.
because, I mean, what type of leader would you be to be flaking out on your team just because all your starters left? I'm quite sure she was joking around and trolling. But I
Mm-hmm.
honestly believe that after that loss, these young girls were very much motivated, and it's showing this season. Each player on that squad, each of them has stepped up to their role and have played their part. And Raven Johnson, what was her problem last season? She couldn't shoot threes. She's improved on that this year. I bet you they'll be defending her now. I honestly think that South Carolina will get to the national title game, and I believe this time they're going to right the wrong from last year, and I think they're going to win it.
Yeah.
Now, as far as who
Yeah.
I think will play them, that remains to be seen. But I know one of those teams is definitely going to be South Carolina. And let me just say this since we on women's college basketball. Is there a way that they can change this format? Is there a way that they can have the women close out March Madness? Let the women close out on Monday and have the guys close out on Sunday because let's just keep it all the way 100 since we there. Nobody gives a fuck about men's college basketball right now. Nobody gives two shit about. Okay, yeah, kudos Connecticut's number one, but they're gonna fall because they just lost recently to Creighton. Nobody gives a fuck about Purdue. Nobody cares about them. All the hype right now, and it has been for the last 2 to 3 years, have been
It's a
the
women's game.
women. The women
Mm.
is what's making college basketball relevant right now. It's that simple. I honestly believe that the women should close out March Madness this year. The women should have it on Monday. The guys should have it on Sunday. Give it to the ones that are deserving and let them be the headliners. Because don't nobody give two shit about these dudes right now. Respectfully. Y'all have had it for years. It's over. It's over. The women got it now. Give it up for the ladies. And I honestly believe that they should be the one closing out the show this season, closing out March Madness this year, because what they're doing over there with all of these teams, you got South Carolina, you got
Mm-hmm.
LSU, you got
LSU,
UConn,
Ohio
you got
State,
Texas, you got
Iowa. Yeah.
Indiana, you got Iowa, and what Clayton Clark is doing over there. I ain't even talk about Juju Watkins and USC. The list goes on. The women are holding this shit down in college basketball. Nobody give a fuck about the niggas right now. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And if they tell you they are, they lying. Right now, it's the women that got the game right now. They got our attention. They're the ones that we're cramming for. A few weeks ago, South Carolina and who was it? It was South Carolina and LSU.
Mm-hmm.
They played the Thursday night game, and an NBA game was on Turner. And I believe
I
that
believe it
the
was a
women,
Boston game too.
and I believe the women had more viewers than the NBA game. When have we
Yep.
ever said that about the guys? Never. Never. Like we need to stop. We need to stop the bullshit, man. Like let the girls award the girls what they deserve. Award them what they deserve. They have been holding this game down for the last 2 to 3 years. Give them what they deserve. Give them the spotlight. Let them close March Madness because nobody give a fuck about the guys. And I'm sorry for being so aggressive about it, but this shit irks my soul. Honestly, it really does. It really does.
I knew it would. That's why I did it.
Well, you ticked me off, and it worked, man.
Trust me,
man. That shit.
I know exactly what I'm doing.
It pushes my it pushes my buttons, man. Like this shit irks me, man. And this is no respect. This is no disrespect for the dudes. Like they are doing their thing, but right now nobody care about them right now. Nobody.
So those,
and I will add,
who trying to recall, we had a Eastern Conference Finals rematch that Thursday night down in Miami.
Yep. And the girls, college girls, had more viewers than a professional NBA game. When have we ever said, yo, them college niggas have more viewers than the NBA? Never. Fuck out of here, man.
I'll add to this too. Member to the NCAA. The women sell the tickets. It is time for them to not play in arenas. It's time for them to play in stadiums the way you always hold Final Four with the men.
Yes.
It is time for the women to play in stadiums.
Here's the crazy thing.
Preach.
There's no star power on the men's side. There's no star power.
And that's the problem right there.
The star power's on the women's side. And you know the crazy
star power's all on the women's side.
And you know the crazy thing about it? The best team in the country don't even have a starter.
Mm-hmm.
The logo that you see right here, ladies and gentlemen, the South Carolina game, they have no star player. They star players in the WNBA playing for the Indiana people.
Yeah, they don't.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a star player.
And they smacking everybody, including injuries in the LSU.
Just shows you how good of a team they have and how good of a coach Dawn Staley is.
Then we echo what Dray said. And y'all heard me say it plenty of times. Oh, that lost to Clayton Clark and Iowa last year? Dawn Staley was like, that's not happening again.
Oh no,
that is not happening
again.
And
it hasn't yet. So yeah.
Those freshmen they got on that squad. What's her name? Flu Riley, the point guard that could just dazzle like a motherfucker. And what's the girl's name that could shoot the threes? I think she's from Cali. I think she's Samoan. I think. Hopefully.
Pow.
Yes, her. Special girls. I already know about Chloe Pitts or Kitts. I forgot her last name. She was just waiting for her shine. She couldn't get it because of all the players that
the talent was ahead of her.
Same thing with Cardozo. Cardozo. She was just waiting for Aaliyah Boston to leave so that now she can get her shine. And they all getting it now. I don't see nobody beating them. Beating them. That's a well-oiled machine. I don't see them losing.
As I said about Oriema with UConn, you start to see these teams now try to do exactly how the blueprint was laid with Tennessee, and then they got passed on to UConn, and now you see with South Carolina, you're now starting to see a new power not rebuild but reload.
I'm making a clean sweep. I don't got nobody being South Carolina. If there's one team, it'll be LSU, and that's only because one player needs to show up. And guess what? It's not Angel Reese. It's not Williams. It's not Jackson. It's only one person. And for some reason, she only showed up for one game. But yet, you're supposed to be a 20-point per game player. And Haley Van Lith.
Oh, you gonna call her out again, huh?
When does she want to show up? Because LSU can go back to back.
They could.
They definitely
could go back to back. Yeah.
But if she don't show up,
they could run it back. Yeah, no question.
If she don't show up, they ain't going back to back.
Well, she is the one that left Louisville to go there.
Yeah, I was about to say.
So if anybody need to come over here and step up It got to be you, because I'm quite sure they're saying to themselves, we was fine before you got here. So now that you here, you got to help us.
Yeah. This was went over to the top. Like, yo, LSU should be number 2 at the very least right now. Behind South Carolina.
Because before the season started, once it was announced that she was going there, people were already crowning them back-to-back champions. And then they took that first loss to Colorado, and that might have shut everybody up.
Yeah,
that hype went away dumb quick. But yeah, they could definitely go back-to-back. Just stay away from South Carolina, and it'll happen.